I just now found out I could show Yeah, nils frahm. That's just to get everybody's attention. So, what did you?
You sure did.
Yeah.
Yes, that was called Hammers by Nils Frahm. So, thank you for coming. It's good to see you guys. I haven't seen you for a long time. Yeah, feel free to, if you have like questions and comments and stuff between songs, chime in. My intention was to, I guess, play through the album, and if any, I don't know, if any other pieces come to mind that I want to play, maybe I'll mix those in, other inspirations of mine. The album is called Let Go, and maybe I'll talk a little bit about that more as we go through it. And this, so I actually write the songs before I give them titles, so I sometimes forget what the names of the songs are. But this one is called Quiet Your Mind, that I'll start with. clap action going on. Let's see. I wrote these songs. I started writing these last summer. I don't know, I set this goal for myself to like write a song each day. And they were usually only like a minute or two long. And some of them I really liked, some I didn't really care for that much. But I would just write it, post it on Instagram, and some of them got more feedback than I expected. Some got less than I thought. And it was just like a kind of like a really good way to like get live feedback on ideas. And then we had actually sold the piano, as some of you know. We just got this in December. We sold our other piano because we thought we were going to move. We thought maybe we'll try to take advantage of the high prices of real estate. And what?
Take advantage of the high price of real estate.
I mean, for selling. To get money. And then we were going to wait out and see what happened. But then we just decided, we just didn't feel peace about that, so we ended up staying. And but I really missed the piano, like, more than I expected. Remember when we sold it, we both like were crying. I guess you kind of take for granted just having music in the house often. But then I just had that urge again to like record, to write, to flesh the pieces out. So that's where the ideas came from, and then I tried to flesh them out some more. This next one is called Illusion, and it's one that I think this is basically the form that it came out in, I think, for the most part. I had added like an extended section, which if I feel inspired, I'll show you what that was about. But I felt like it was pretty complete as is. So I'll play that for you. I'm just to show you what that other section was. I was thinking of. It kind of felt like it was a little bit too much, but it I guess it got into. Let's see. I kind of regretted not putting it in here, but the thing is, like when I record music, it's hard to like once I get something down. I might do like another version of it at some point, but that was, I think that was one where I was like, you know, that was like one of the few times I felt like, I think I'd like to add this in.
Yeah.
Something. That's the nice thing about Spotify.
You can do whatever you want.
Put another version out there.
Take two.
Yeah. So, yeah, I guess about the album. I mean, Let Go. What? I guess it's just a phrase that Rachel and I have been thinking a lot about these last few months. Of just, I don't know, it could be really easy to cling to just anything, ideas, the way you think life's supposed to be, what you think your job should be like, what you think your kids should be, what you think your spouse should be, other people, your home, and I think it was a phrase. It was a title that came to me before this happened. Yeah, with the accident, and I think you guys all know that Rachel was in a small like fender bender with the van. Was that in February? February 5th, I think. And she was really shaken up by it. But so the van ended up being totaled, but it was at a point in our life where we felt like this just can't happen financially is the way we were feeling. And I remember I was working on like paying bills at the time. You called me and I felt like this can't happen right now. But I think we both were able to thankfully it was like just around the corner and we were able to get the van home. And I, for some reason, just had this like overwhelming sense of like, I want to just embrace this and like give thanks for it, express gratitude. And I did, and it was very difficult. Well, I guess for some reason it felt like the natural thing to do. Like I can't do anything else, so I'm just gonna say thank you that this happened. And we ended up feeling like, well, maybe we'll ask people for some help financially, and which we ended up doing, and people were very generous and gracious to help get the van that we have now. And it felt like kind of a pivot and a turning point for us, where it was like, it can be hard to ask and it can be hard to receive. And there was something about, we feel like the act of asking and accepting from people that actually opened up a lot of other unexpected things, like just some really wacky like bonuses from work that I absolutely not in a million years expected, not just like end of the year stuff. And then I got a new job, there was tax return, there was like a bunch of, it almost felt like a windfall of stuff that happened that was totally unexpected financially. And we kind of both felt like that was strongly rooted in just like expressing gratitude, like accepting where we were at. So it's kind of interesting that these song titles and the album name sort of came out of, I don't know, maybe just these concepts were on my mind, and then all of that happened, and it sort of felt like an appropriate season to like do this album and release it. So a little bit of the origin story of the album.
Very cool.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Speaking of origins, like when you write a piece and then you name it afterwards, tell us about that process.
Yeah, okay, that's interesting. Well, I think some of it, so with the first album opening, we were in Vermont, and I felt very inspired by being there, by the nature there, the calm and the peace, and just the quiet, because we didn't sort of have, there was just like a lot of noise that was in our life that was not there anymore, whether it was just everything. So you get a chance to just kind of settle and think, who am I, I guess. And so the song titles for that, for some reason, the songs that I wrote that were inspired by that felt like they were connected to that place. So they were things like seed, like a seed falling into the earth and dying. Things like lost, feeling a sense of being lost in some ways, but also that being good. But then as the albums progressed, yeah, I guess for this latest one, I don't know if it was based on like the way the song felt as much as I think we just sat down together, Rachel and I, and I don't know, we just talked it out. Like, here's the songs, here's what we're thinking, things we're thinking about, and I guess they sort of fell into place at that point. But maybe sort of I thought less about them, about the process this time. Like one of the ones I'll play later is called "I Will Make Some Tea." Kind of just the idea of like, sometimes you think we think we have all these problems, but sometimes all you can do is just the next thing. Like, I'm just going to make some tea. So I guess that was a little bit about. Yeah, it's hard to be as specific. But let me see. So the next one's slow waltz. I mean, this one literally is like a waltz. The timing of it. Da 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 da. So, but it's a slow waltz. So name it for what it is. Oh, I got the key right too. Yeah. Sorry, I don't have pretty pitch though. Makes me happy. Yeah. One of your favorites, you said? Yeah. Yeah, I know. Yeah, that was actually one that when I recorded these, when I was doing those daily posts, and I wrote this one, I was like, I don't know what to play today. Here's just this generic thing, you know, because I think the way I played it at the time was like real straight and a little faster, and so it didn't. I don't know, something about it didn't sit with me. But then I got like a lot of feedback on that one, and I was like, well, maybe I should think about stretching that out a little bit. So yeah, that, and then that second section, it's just interesting how pieces come together. Like I guess like artwork, you start doing something and it's like, this doesn't work, and you try something else, and just like the pieces kind of come together, and you're like, that's it. Because I don't know, I almost gave up on it a couple of times, but it's kind of cool how these things come together. Hi. What's going on upstairs?
Guys are playing Minecraft.
I think for your next album, you should let your kids name your songs.
Yeah, that might work better, out better.
Bill, if he does let us name him, he might feel a little weird.
Exactly.
You want to take a seat?
Yeah,
How you been?
good. How are you?
Good to see you. Where are you working these days? Are you still doing the security thing?
Yeah, I'm still in Canada. Yeah, a little CPR seminar today, so going on my way to it. But I made it.
Yeah, actually, the YouTube live stream got completely bored. I don't know what happened,
Oh, really?
and I like couldn't figure it out fast enough. So I'm doing Instagram. I don't even know if anybody's watching, but
Is it live?
yeah.
Live.
I don't want to be disappointed. Actually, I mean, thinking of letting go, like that, I was like really looking forward to doing it, but it's just a daily practice of like, okay, thank you that this has happened. Like you just don't know why some things happen and certain things work out and certain things don't, and sometimes you see the reason that they do and don't, and sometimes you don't. But I feel like if we're just able to accept it with gratitude, it's like save yourself a lot of trouble, I guess. This next one is called Night Walk. I guess this is one that did remind me of just that feeling of being out on a walk, a calm walk at night. I remember somebody said something like, if all of my night walks felt like this song makes me feel, I'd take a lot more. So I don't know what kind of walks they're getting themselves involved in. It's pretty stressful, intense walking. shuffling around in my seat here. It's so calm to play for people that aren't running around and screaming. I feel like somebody coming downstairs opening the door. Big deal, you know?
Yeah.
That wasn't choreographed.
Let's see here. I kind of want to, I'm feeling in the mood to play like some tunes by other composers that have inspired me. But we'll get to some of the other tunes as well. Let's see. I've been really enjoying playing this piece called Sleeping Lotus by a composer named Beving, Beving. Sleeping Lotus. There was a few albums that when we were in Vermont that and Collingswood before that I discovered. Nils Frahm was one, Beving was another. Ultra Arnold's as well, but just hearing their music, I didn't know music could be written like that. You know, we were just like they put something felt over the strings, and you're just like, I didn't know the piano could sound like that. So I was blown away at how like delicate. I remember reading something about Nils Frahm saying he would put the microphones like as close as he could to the piano and just like turn his preamps up so like he was getting more signal to his whatever it's called, input interface, I guess, and then like through his headphones, so he was like immersed in the sound. And that's kind of the way I like to record, is in the middle of the night. I had the mics like literally right here, and you just like, the sound is like right in your ears, so you hear every little idiosyncratic thing about the keys, which I really enjoy. But in the recording, there definitely was some intense pedal squeaking going on, but we've since gotten that taken care of. But I think it adds a certain little character to it. So this is called Sleeping Lotus.
Some of these songs just give me chills.
That was beautiful.
I'll do, this one's called Staring into the Fire. That's just what it made me think of, I guess. You know that feeling of, well, we were going to do a fire after this out back if anybody wants to stay. But you know that feeling of like, you're just looking into a fire and not thinking about anything at all. Reminds me of, you ever hear the expression stank face? Yeah. Like when somebody's playing the bass and they're like, you know, they're just like so into it. And sometimes I'll watch these, because I like to share videos and I'll watch some of them. feel like that's the face I make sometimes.
We had a bass player in college who, in our band, who was like always in that mode. It's always bass players too.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Maybe you should have been a bass player.
I won't remember. I won't.
That's right, you are.
Oh, that bass. That's pretty good. I'm in it. That's why I got the bass.
All right, let's do. This is a fun one. I always like to pull out. It's a real crowd pleaser. No, this is one of the main themes from the Amelie soundtrack.
I love this.
Yeah. See if I can do it justice. It's a fun one to play.
Is it weird that every time I hear that, I just think of tablecloths?
Wait, is that from the movie? I haven't seen it in a long time.
Isn't there like some image in the movie with like a tablecloth thong in it or something?
Oh, there is. I just think of like, doesn't she skip rocks or something like that too?
And she's on the train.
Yeah,
Should watch
yeah.
it again.
Dipping her
I always
head
go
in
back to
rice
the
or
tablecloths. I don't know
something.
why.
Table calls on your mind.
Just love tablecloths.
Oh, let's see. What time is it?
8:37.
What time did we start? I don't know.
About an hour ago.
Yeah.
7.
All right. Well, let's see.
7:45.
What do we want? Oh, okay. I'll do this one's called. So I had two tracks. So there's a Zen proverb, I guess you would call it. I think it says, "Sitting quietly, doing nothing, the grass grows by itself." And I guess it just. But for some reason, that phrase kind of always stuck with me. Of like, the grass and nature doesn't need like effort and exertion to grow. We don't need to do anything for it. And sometimes, or often feels like life is like that too, that sometimes you try to strong arm a situation or a child into submission or whatever, or like use force in some way, and usually it backfires. And so I just feel like I often need quiet and silence to let things just go their own way sometimes. Actually, well, most of the time. All the time, that's what it feels like. So, sitting quietly, I'm going to do the doing nothing one. So one track is titled Sitting Quietly, and one is called Doing Nothing, and that's what this one is. I'll do one more. This is the last track on the album called Nocturne. I guess I named it that because it reminded me of certain phrasing and patterns found in Chopin nocturnes, but not as complex. Okay. Some of the nocturnes that he does these, 15 notes against 4.5. Or something, something ridiculous. Music jokes. So it's not quite as complicated. But this was one that during the recording session back in December, I did it at home, but I felt like the album was a little bit incomplete, so I wanted to do one more. And I guess I don't remember the details of writing this one, but it just kind of. It still was a little bit of work to put together, but I feel like it's one of the few times where it kind of came to me in a way I didn't expect, and wrote a song that I didn't normally write, or at least I tend to write a lot of things that are very tonal. Well, this is still tonal, but kind of, in one key, they don't modulate, there's not really any accidentals or sharps or flats. I usually write in major keys as well, and this one's in a minor key, so I guess it gives a little bit more room for expression, but so I really like this one. And nocturne usually means like a night song, so I guess it's a good one to end with.
for your accompaniment.
That one should be called the munching of the chips.
Where get my hint? So, yeah, I want to be respectful of everybody's time. Does anybody need to? You guys need to go?
Did you pick out an encore song?
I mean, I can. Oh, you know what? There was one. Yeah, you wanted me to play.
I thought you played it at the beginning.
No, I thought you wanted me
Oh,
to
the
play.
one where you...
I'll play one more. If
We're good.
This is
not a nocturne type song.
What?
This is not a nocturne type of song.
Yeah, this is called Hanging D.
Oh, wow.
You will
Why did you call it hanging D? I didn't bring my earplugs.
Hanging D, the letter D.
It's a level.
Because it. Annie, can you eat some more?
The music.
You'll hear this. No, the whole piece. Although it probably doesn't matter on this piece because it's a little loud. Let me see. Yeah, it's been a little while, but we'll get through it. That's a fun one to play. I need to write a piece like that.
Okay.
Next week.
So, yeah. So, any questions?
Fair question. So when you make up the song names, is it something that you said the one about walking at night or looking to a fire? Like, are you when you make the songs, are you doing those things, or is it something that you write the music first and then you're like, oh, this reminds me of doing that?
Yeah. Well, like we don't have a fireplace, so I do that every night. But we have a fire pit out back, so yeah. I guess I do take a lot of walks. I don't take a lot of walks at night, but I have, so that's what it made me think of. But I guess the other ones, I guess the other ones like, well, tea. I usually drink coffee, but I drink tea at night. I more the spirit of like I'm gonna just do something calming. I do practice meditation, so like the idea of like sitting quietly doing nothing. I guess it's really just a practice of like acceptance and like breathing. I think breathing is like underrated in a sense. So it's almost just like a practice of like I'm just gonna take time to breathe and accept what is in front of you. So yeah, I think they are by your side. I guess we kind of came up with that one. Or I think you came up with that one. Maybe just reminded us of like being with someone. I didn't actually play that one, but
Yeah, we just like played through the whole thing, and I wrote down everything I could think of.
Yeah.
While it was playing, and then you took it from there, because you were gonna throw the whole thing out.
I almost scrapped it.
I was like, no, boy.
Well, because I've always wanted to record and mix and master this stuff myself, which is like, as you know, a very daunting task. But I was very persistent about learning how to do that. So that's why I almost gave up a few times. It's pretty frustrating. But I ended up doing this album. Yeah, I think it worked out. Yeah, we're all done. If anybody's watching, thank you for joining us. I see a few folks. Thank you.